Hi, hello, you beautiful souls. Thank you for joining me today. Carmen Delport here with the spiritual guidance and some more information for you for this week, this intense week we are in. Today is the 16th of February as I'm recording this. So this is for the next week. I'm doing this because we are now in the heart of the eclipse season. And we will be in the heart of the eclipse season for the next 4 weeks. So I'm going to try and support you as much as I possibly can with guidance. There is a full energy update for the next 2 weeks in my Patreon community, Awakening Support. This is a detailed energy update with energetic aligned questions, very important questions for you to contemplate, for you to realize what is shifting for you and what is the right action for you. Okay, because we are in this period of change now. This is not a period that we can control, we cannot hang on, because these are destined changes. These are, even if it's just a different way of thinking, this is karmic, it's destined, right? We can't stop it. It will just happen. Now, whatever is happening now will be playing out with the most energy for the next 6 weeks, but for the next 6 months, this will be unfolding. So this is a critical point we are in for this year. And what my guides are saying to me now, we're in this critical point until about the 23rd of April. That's an interesting date. So that's what they're sharing with me. So we are now in the year of the fire horse from tomorrow, the 17th of February. So we are shedding the last bits of snake skin. But we have to be very careful here at this crossover point now between the snake and the year of the fire horse. Because it is not a sudden overnight shift. This shift is happening over the next few weeks. Now, we have to be careful that we don't jump full speed onto this fire horse and burn everything away and rip everything out of our lives, or be the fire of the fire horse full of passion too much, because we are still shedding. Okay, so be very mindful of not doing any quick decisions, and be very mindful of this fire that is coming in, that you might be saying things you rather not be saying. Okay, so we are in this transition now from the snake here. Yay, we're finally leaving that behind, all that peeling away. We are leaving it behind. We're getting onto the horse. And I've made this in my New Year's video. I talked about it. To remember, a horse needs to walk, trot, canter, gallop. Okay, there's many different speeds of being on the horse. A horse also needs to rest. It also needs to eat. It needs to be groomed. Just remember that, to take good care of yourself. We are now stepping into the time of taking good care of ourselves, right? And also the message that's coming through is to really be there for yourself, to allow yourself the time and space to feel yourself, how you are feeling, how you are going through life. In this week here, right now, we can be feeling waves of emotion between complete joy and bliss, or feeling that we know what we're going to do. But there's this underlying feeling of feeling this big shift that's happening, but not quite sure what it is. And that's where the questions for you to reflect on in my Awakening Support energy update that is brilliant for this, to help you get clear on what it is that you do need and want now going forward, because we are releasing a lot. A lot of our own inner truth is coming out. The truth in the world is coming out. And I also just want to point out that with these Epstein files, truth that's coming out, to be very gentle with yourself, because I know the news is very disturbing and very upsetting for many people. There are also those that have known about this. So don't listen and read about this too much, because it's not good for your nervous system. You need to take care of yourself, right? Look after you. All this truth is coming out, and although they say it's everything, it's not. I know it's not. So be very kind to yourself. What is most important for you right now is your truth, where you are in your life right now. So the guidance that's coming through from my team in spirit is, this is a week of determining your value. What are you willing to fully commit to? 100% commit to, where you know that your passion, your drive, your creativity, your energy, your life force wants to be committed to this. And your value is in your life experience, your gifts, your skills. And this is a time to share it, right? But sharing is giving and receiving. It works both ways. Be fully aware. And so sit down this week. How are you giving? How are you sharing? And how and when are you being? Just being. Because we can't always be giving. There needs to be balance. And receiving. It's about the balance between the two. How are we going to balance sharing our gifts, our creativity, our skills, our knowledge, our wisdom with passion, and we can sustain it, and the slowing down, the being and opening and receiving. How are you receiving? That's a very interesting one, the how are you receiving, because we think we are openly receiving, but we're not. There's so much programming around receiving, especially if you work in the spiritual community. There is a huge thing around receiving. So be very kind to yourself in noticing how you are limiting your receiving. But there needs to be a balance between what you are actually giving and what you are actually receiving. Okay? We are in this period now of complete truth and authenticity. And so this is coming in with these scales of balance between giving and receiving. And as we are balancing our giving and receiving, synchronicities and opportunities just open up, show up for us. And because this is happening because we are in this universal law of giving and receiving. It is this karmic law of when you are in the flow of this balancing act, the universe opens up and things fall into place for you. Now the same is happening in relationships. How are you giving love in the relationship, and how are you receiving? How are you giving your energy, and how are you receiving? And those relationships that is not an equal giving, sharing, and receiving, those relationships we will now realize this week needs to come to an end. That is no longer in alignment with us. But equally, this week we are opening up, we're stepping into that higher vibration to open up to relationships that will be an equal giving and receiving. Okay? So we tend to really guard our hearts. And what they are saying is, we, as much reason as we do have to guard our hearts, when we're doing the healing on it collectively and individually, we need to open our hearts to give and receive. We can't just expect to receive with a closed heart if we can't give with an open heart. So there's a lot there in that message that they have. They are saying that I'm just hearing them, they are saying we all have our beautiful uniqueness to share with one another, whether it is in work, whether it is in relationships. And it's also about us acknowledging the gifts, the talents, the skills we do have, and that we are sharing or want to share, and to realize that there's value there. There's really value there. So they're showing me this opening of your being, your heart and your mind, seeing all these gifts you have that you're sharing and the value of them, and you're discovering more of that now that you are sharing. Okay, so the next point that they're saying is, this period we are in now is a period of strength and growth. As we get stronger in who we are, the more we grow. And strength is in many different ways. Strength is in how we can be a sovereign being. And I've written a beautiful post on sovereignty in my Awakening Awareness. That's free, that's for anyone to read. I would definitely read that to understand what sovereignty is really about. But when I think of strength, I think of the strength of being sovereign, the strength of keeping your calm, being fully aware of what is truly happening inside of you, and be able to discern from a neutral place for all parties, and to take care of yourself while in periods of conflict, and also how you are sharing. So that is strength and growth, okay? Now, and this is what they're showing me, if you've been struggling, if you feel that you've been struggling for a long time, which is many people, right? We were coming out of the year of the snake. That is like almost everyone. And you feel there is really no end in sight, and you're like, where is my miracle? Where is the light for me at the end of this tunnel? Know that this period we are in and coming out of is a significant part of our soul's evolution, for our soul to grow, for us to grow. And in our own journey here on earth, we are becoming more powerful when we come out of this difficult period. We've learned all these new skills. We've learned how to adapt. We've learned so much more about ourselves and about other people and how things work, and we see the world differently. So that means that we're coming out of that with more power, and we are coming out of it with more power only if you're listening to your heart, because your heart will not lead you astray. I'm saying your heart, not your stomach, not your head. Your heart will not lead you astray in this week we are in now. Because this week we are in now, the ego mind will try its best to hold on to the old, to the known, but it's always known, what's been deeply programmed into it. And that is being literally removed. Okay, but we can hang on because we're very good at hanging on. So we need to be careful how we spend our energy this week. So you do not want to spend it for hours. I'm smiling because so many are doing it. Endlessly scrolling on social media or watching Netflix or watching this whole Epstein thing unfold for hours and hours. You don't want to do that because that takes you out of your body, out of what you need to feel so you can take right action and being connected with your soul. Let your soul guide you through your heart. Okay, so make that time to pause, listen and receive. So this is not a time to be very busy. This is not a time to be very busy this week. This is a time to be more by yourself, to spend more time connecting with your soul. Okay? So, and also in this being by yourself and with yourself, you are learning more about yourself. You can be more authentic. You can be more you. Because in that quietness of being by yourself, you are connecting into those parts of you that wants to be expressed, that wants to be seen, which is your authentic self. Okay? Like I've mentioned, the soul wants to control. Okay? So, when we are being authentic, maybe at first it can feel uncomfortable, but being authentic is really being at home in yourself, really being so comfortable in yourself that you can be yourself. And in being authentic and feeling relaxed and at ease in yourself, you are claiming your integrity. Now, integrity means being whole. It means being honest with yourself, and it means being in alignment with your soul and in alignment with your outer world. Like your outer world is a mirror of your expression of the self. So authenticity is, I've just want to go through this. Authenticity is honesty, consistency in your words, your values, and your actions. They all match, they all line up. Strong moral principles, doing what is right, even when it's inconvenient and even if no one can see you. Inner alignment, acting in a way that feels true to who you really are. So ask yourself, does it feel true to who I really am? So living in alignment with your higher self means not betraying your values, and not doing something to please others or being something to please others or to avoid discomfort. And we all do that. Okay? We're slowing down. We are feeling into ourselves, our gifts, our value. We are feeling more at home in ourselves as being more authentic and living with integrity. And we are being more open. We are being more open to, I'm seeing all this light, all this information coming in. So there's all this light codes coming in. What they're showing me is to be open and receiving all these light codes that's coming in for us. And this can mean disturbed sleep. And in this opening, there is a softening. To soften in yourself in those moments when you can. And also to accept everything, fully accept everything you've experienced on your journey on this earth until now. In accepting everything, no matter how difficult it is, doesn't mean we change it. It doesn't mean we ignore it. It just means we accept it. Because when we accept something, we take responsibility for ourselves and we take our power, our energy, our life force back. But also when we accept that everything, we can be our authentic self. And the world responds to our authenticity. The more authentic we are, as in living in our truth and in honesty, the world is responding, the universe is responding to that. So whatever we are creating in this space of openness and authenticity is exactly on time and is exactly as it's meant to be. And whatever we create from this place of openness, joy, bliss, excitement, peace, will be received beautifully by the universe, and the universe responds beautifully to that. And that is how abundance plays out for us now. Yeah. So no pushing. No more pushing, no more shoving, no more trying so hard. Right. I'm just feeling my throat there. This week is a week to really look after our throat chakra. And our throat chakra is directly connected to our sacral plexus, our center of creativity, sexuality, and of course the feminine energy, creation energy, softness energy. And the throat is our direct connection with the world, how we share who we are. So your unique self needs to be expressed. So this week, really, I will really journal first on what you want to express, how you want to stand up for yourself like you haven't done before. You might feel the urge to stand up for yourself, to really put your foot down, or to right the wrongs, or to do whatever you can to get your voice out there. We are in this period now. I'm already seeing it. So just pause before you do that, journal on it, get clear on what you are expressing, right? And as we are expressing this truth, the new will come in, the new dreams will come in, the new aha moments will come in, the new timeline will be coming in. So this is the time, like I've mentioned, to pause, open, pause, and we will be getting clarity in the next few days, 4 weeks I'm hearing. So, but make the time to pause so the clarity can come in, right? And yeah, so basically everything I've said, you need to pause, and in the pause, the beingness and receivingness, we play, we have fun, we see the beauty of this world. Because if we don't do that, we're not allowing it into our lives, we're not receiving, okay? So very, very important to allow yourself the time to pause, to have fun in whichever way you want to play and to fill your cup. Love is all around us now. I think you're all looking around. Where is it? Where is it? Love is all around us now. As we are opening our hearts and as we are more living in our truth, our authenticity from our heart. Our heart is our connection to our soul. It is our essence of who we are. If we step out of the ego mind and open ourselves to love and share love, and if we are willing to fully be with ourselves, interesting what they're showing me, I don't know how to put it into words. As we are comfortably being with ourselves, acknowledging how we are feeling, accepting what we've experienced, our own love increases. And as that is happening, we are opening up to our soul tribe. We are opening up to our soul tribe. They are coming in now. We are meeting these people. They're coming into our lives, like-minded people, friends, new romances, new people, partnerships to co-create with. So this is a period for us. This week is big energies. So I just wanted to share all of that with you. I think it's so deeply needed that we are there for each other. And I hope that you bring softness into this week for yourself in whichever way that is, whether it is by going through a walk in nature, by having a lovely bath, by singing, by dancing, or just reading a good book, that you can recharge and allow yourself to feel what is coming through for you and to you. I want to remind you again that in my Awakening Support Community, there is an energy update for the next 2 weeks that I highly recommend for everyone to work through those questions that is in there. I do have later in this week my live meditation going out on YouTube Thursday evening, 6 o'clock here in United Kingdom. Live transmission to release poverty, scarcity consciousness from our planet and our ancestors, and bringing in prosperity for everyone and ourselves in all forms. That is Thursday evening. I do have a live in my Awakening Support Community as well on Friday. And what else? And as always, if you need guidance, healing from me, I'm a multidimensional healer. I'm a spiritual therapist, a trauma therapist, an inner child healing therapist, a shadow worker, a life coach, a mentor, a shaman, here to help you becoming the most aligned, most authentic, most loving life version of yourself. Sending you so much love. Thank you for being here. If you like this, please share it and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And do let me know how you are doing this week in the comments. What's coming up for you that you are not sure about? Because we're all busy with something that we are not sure about. Okay? And let me know how you are slowing down this week. What are you doing for yourself to look after yourself? I'm wishing you a beautiful, magical solar eclipse Tuesday, the 17th of February. And then on Friday, the 20th of February, we have another very big energetic day. We have these very big energetic days. We've been in them. We will be in them until about the middle of March. But according to my team in spirit, they are saying now 23rd of April. So there we go. So I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you.